The United States, a nation built on ideals, a grand experiment in democracy. From the outset, this country was different. It declared a belief in liberty and equality, a radical notion in a world ruled by monarchs. The founding of the United States was a bold statement, a rejection of the old ways. But the reality was more complex. The Declaration of Independence, while powerful, did not speak for everyone. Slavery, a brutal contradiction to the ideals of freedom, existed from the start. Native Americans, the original inhabitants of this land, faced displacement and broken treaties. This duality, the gap between ideals and reality, would define much of U.S. history. It's a story of progress and setbacks, of triumphs and struggles. It's a history that continues to unfold today. The American Revolution was a fight for independence, a rebellion against colonial rule. It was a bloody struggle full of sacrifice and determination. But it was also a revolution of ideas. The colonists, inspired by Enlightenment thinkers, dared to imagine a government by the people. The Constitution, a document both celebrated and debated, attempted to establish this new form of government. It enshrined principles of democracy and individual rights. But it also contained compromises reflecting the complexities of the time. The Bill of Rights, added later, further protected individual freedoms. Freedom of speech, religion, the press. These rights became cornerstones of American identity. But the fight to fully realize these rights for all citizens would continue for generations to come. The Civil War, a nation divided against itself. Brother fought brother in a brutal conflict over slavery. The Union victory ultimately ended slavery, a watershed moment in American history. But the war's legacy was complex, its scars slow to heal. Beyond the battlefields, ordinary people showed extraordinary courage. Harriet Tubman, a conductor on the Underground Railroad, risked her life to lead enslaved people to freedom. Frederick Douglass, a powerful orator and abolitionist, challenged the nation to confront its hypocrisy. Black soldiers, fighting for a country that denied them basic rights, demonstrated immense bravery and patriotism. Their contributions, often overlooked, were essential to the Union victory. The Civil War was a turning point, but the struggle for true equality was far from over. The fight for civil rights for African Americans was a long and arduous journey. A century after the Civil War, segregation and discrimination persisted. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s challenged these injustices. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. inspired millions with his message of nonviolent resistance. Rosa Parks, refusing to give up her seat on a bus, sparked a movement. Countless others, both famous and unknown, marched, protested, and demanded change. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 were landmark achievements, outlawing discrimination and protecting voting rights. But the fight for equality continues. The struggle against racism, discrimination, and injustice remains a vital part of the American story.